So we're in after 10 minutes of technical difficulties, dude. What's going on?
I had a feeling that might happen just because I've gone through, like I said, the exact same thing, but it's all good.
It's got to be Apple, dude. This Android's working just fine. So
right, you are golden. That picture is fire.
Good stuff, man. Well, how have you been?
Good, man. This week was rough. I know we talked about how I got a new job, and it has been the exact opposite of the first week. The first week was like everything was meant to be. It was going great, and then the second week has just been like, I think I had out of 7 appointments, 5 of them were like no shows. They didn't even show up to the appointment.
Yep.
So it's how it goes, the ups and downs of these kind of jobs. So.
Oh yeah, dude. It's like it comes in waves, man. Especially with the economy being the way it is, people are kind of stingy with their money. They feel like they got to spend it on other stuff. So, but yeah, man, it was an exciting weekend for arm wrestling, to say the least. I was glued to my TV for a good 5 hours on Saturday. Longest arm wrestling tournament I've watched. Not been a part of, though.
I would say the best, though.
Easily the best East versus West we've seen.
Yeah.
Easily.
I think just the best card in general. I think I've had a lot to complain about with, core sports and, just how arm wrestling has treated the production of all this, because it's gotten so much bigger in the last 2 to 3 years.
Massive.
That you can tell that we're kind of figuring this all out as we go. About how to get better, how to do these things professionally, how to utilize the people that know what they're doing for these kind of things. And dude, shout out to fucking Angan Terzi for just being the mastermind.
Crazy tournament.
West.
It was fast.
Yeah, it was as
yeah.
fast as it could have been for having 16 matches, 17 matches to last 4.5 hours. They moved it right along as fast as they could.
Yep.
The production was good. The audio was good. It never cut out on me.
Nope.
Yeah, I have no complaints. Like literally, I was thinking this, but I shouldn't say this on fucking YouTube, but I was thinking I would have paid double what I paid
to
watch that. You know what I mean?
I was just thinking of that, bro. I was just thinking, like, if you think about it, it was maybe 5 or 6 hours at $15. That's like $3 an hour. That's nothing.
Well, and not only that, but for the value in which arm wrestlers got their money because of who they got to watch, the matches that they got to watch. You and me were talking a little bit about how, like, the first 5 matches were blowouts, so we were kind of like,
dude.
But, dude, that Jerry versus Gennady match, I completely forgot about how the first 5 matches went, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was glued, man. I was pacing. I was so excited watching that match because it was like, this is what we all wanted to see. Because in my opinion, if you really take a step back and listen and go back to like all the conversations between all the athletes, even leading up to this, it was the Ryan Bowen and Raymond match and the Jerry Carteret that had the biggest, I think, I don't want to say like shit talking, but the biggest kind of like competitiveness between people.
Well, Ray and Ryan had a little bit of venom. You could tell there's a little bit of animosity there. Where Jerry and Gennady was real playful because I don't think that Gennady thought it was even a possibility.
No one did. Except for a few people. I saw Jamie Sheldon post it. He threw it out there. He said, "Nah, you guys don't know about that press."
Yeah, I don't think nobody, but I think a very, 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 very small few. I definitely I thought Gennady was going to run through him, especially after I saw round 1. When I saw round 1, I was like, this is exactly what I thought was going to happen. Yeah, and he just looks at him. I was like, dude, yeah. But, so, yeah, I mean, there's no particular order. We can talk about them all, but I think that it was match of the night without question.
Easy. We can just go right into that one then since we're on the same topic and then just go back.
That's what I'm saying. Round 1, nuts. Just because I thought that's how it would go. And then pretty much every round from then on, you just see Gennady
just sweat.
Dwindle. Oh, my God, the tongue out.
Dude, poor Jerry looked like he was probably 300 degrees, dude.
A true arm wrestling match, just a fucking war.
That's every match he has, though. If you go back and watch, he's just Michael Todd. He's pouring sweat. Devin, he's pouring sweat. He's always, like, just redlined like that.
And then the controversy with the elbow fouls, of course.
But like, did you see Engen's post about that?
No.
He posted just like today about that, and he was like, it is what it is. It was like it was even leading up to that match, there was no elbow foul issues at all. And so I guess he made a poll that was like if they should increase the pads for the super heavyweights, because it seems like those are the guys that are having the most amount of trouble with. I think those are WAF pads
They're
or wall.
huge. They're
They're
massive
tiny.
humans.
Oh no, yeah. I mean, I don't know though. They don't have the big pad. I think those are WAF pads. I think
Those
wall pads are
WAL
bigger.
pads, the WL pads are the bigger ones. The WAF
Yeah.
pads are normal size.
So I think that'd make a big difference, just for those bigger guys. But it's like at the same time, it's kind of like
Also,
that's the
when you
sport.
watch the first one that happens, where Gennadi's on the back of the pad and it's real obvious, Jerry gets the pin after telling the ref for like 20 seconds, look at his elbow, look at his elbow, look at his elbow, and then gets a pin. And then as soon as he gets the pin, the ref calls it in Jerry's way. And you can see Jerry and the ref look at each other like, thanks for not calling that so that I could just get this win. Kind of like the referee telling him, I could have called that elbow foul, and we could have been here twice as long as we needed to be. But I had a feeling that if we continue on there's only one route. If he goes any further, I'll call it. But get the pin.
With the two styles, it's inevitable. You've got one guy all the way over the table shoving the other guy off the back, and then you've got a lat dragging top roller who's now 3 inches off the pad. His forearm was levered against the pad, but he knew he had lost that match. He like set his arm down. His bicep couldn't hold any more weight. But he also was holding his pec right after that. So I don't know if he, you never know with these guys. If they get beat, they might be like, oh, like.
No, apparently he did injure himself because Jerry posted on the thing, good luck with your injury, brother. But what do you think about Hermes versus Jerry now?
I don't know. I think anybody versus Jerry is hard because this is the first match we've seen him do in 2 years. And, of course, he didn't dominate. I wouldn't say he dominated. It was a 2-3 victory, and there was a lot of fouling. But, I mean, Hermes hasn't lost a match that I've seen in a long time. And he's a top roller primary, though. And we've seen what a primary top roller, if you don't have a hook, because once he hooked Jerry, you saw that once they got on a hook, he lost, like, he could not pull him out of a hook, but then he gave up his wrist and got back into it.
Who would you say is more explosive, Hermes or Gennadi?
I couldn't tell you, buddy. The last match, I mean, it's like, who do we see Hermes pull last? The last match I remember is Matt Mask. And then I feel like he pulled somebody after that.
Kurdecha. And then it was Gennadi.
Why do I not remember him pulling Alex?
He lost.
Hermes lost to Kurdecha? Oh, man, I'm going to have to go back and watch that.
And then beat Gennadi. And then after he beat Gennadi, it was like everyone was like, okay, he's fucking ranked. Give him Vitali or something. And then Vitali lost to Salayev. And then Hermes has just been like
he's blown up, dude. Whatever they're feeding those people in Europe, I want it in my Wheaties. Like, you do not get bigger bone mass from trenbolone, dude. You do not just physically. You can gain muscle mass. You'd look like Zurab if you were on Tren. Like, he's 5'8", but he's carrying 200 and something pounds of muscle, dude.
I think they want to do Hermes versus Devin.
I think that's I love Devin to death, dude, but I really don't see him pulling competitively over 225 if he wants to stay in the top 5. His age versus what he's doing to his body, like, he's not doing the same things that Todd and Michael are clearly doing. Michael has the skin of a 25-year-old kid right now, dude. Michael's like Michael Todd is dialed in.
He's always been a human.
Todd Hutchins doesn't look a day over 40, and he's just, I mean, Devin looks the oldest in my opinion. Devin's taking the least amount of precautions, or whatever you call them, while we're here on live, to avoid gaining age. Like, So I don't know, but I think Devin versus anybody is a toss-up. Yeah. Everybody thought he had a chance against Levon, and if you had a chance against Levon, you have a chance against anybody.
Very true. That's what I mean. I wouldn't count him out against anybody, but definitely.
But my favorite new guy has to be Morozov, dude. The Terminator is insane, dude. That guy is a specimen, bro.
Just comes out, wipes the number one left-handed dude in the world, Cody Merritt.
And the guy he doesn't even look left-handed. He just looks symmetrical.
And then does to poor Dave Chafee what it seems like everybody has to do to chafe Dave Chafee. Just don't even worry about rounds 1 and 2. Fuck it.
He's just going to use all his side pressure and stamina right then and there.
It says number 1. Shout out to Ed in the chat.
Shout out. What's up, Ed? Yeah, love Morozov. He's going to be up there, man. He's eating something, dude.
Yeah, he's eating
sweeties or something, man.
He's not short either. He's like 6'6", something like that.
He's like 6'6", 270, and he has a smaller waist than I do.
You know what's crazy? I didn't realize that Sandra Sedis was so tall.
He was like lengthy, dude. He looked like wiry.
Derek Smith said he was the second tallest dude there, and I was like, God damn, maybe that makes sense why the dude's so damn strong, because he's fucking like 6'8". I didn't realize the dude was that tall. I thought he was like
I'm
6'2",
telling you, dude. Derek's like a tree, though. Derek walks up next to you, and you turn around. I know, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like whatever they're doing over there or whatever training, they even have different muscle structure than the U.S. competitors.
Absolutely.
Like John and I were going in depth about bicep definition and like how nobody in Europe has a gap between their bicep and their elbow
or their shoulder
at all. It's just a
Rackley, Morozov.
Dude, I'm just like, what bicep workouts are they doing? Because they're not missing any muscle groups in their arms at all.
But poor Derek Smith, man. God, I was so disheartened to watch that match.
It's gotta be a weird mental experience to come to your state and be the top guy and then travel and continue to struggle. That has to be an interesting mentality.
I wouldn't even say state, because he beat Tim Bresnan. And then Tim Bresnan went in and smacked Matt Mask. So, internationally, Derek Smith he's
gotta be strong.
But it's once again, dude, it's this Eastern Europe lifestyle where as soon as you match them up, it's just like it makes it look non-competitive. Evgeny versus Todd Hutchins. What?
I really thought there might be something there, dude, just because Todd's like the great white buffalo type thing. Like he comes, you know what I mean? But that was bad. He had nothing.
The only thing I can think of is styles make matches. And a lot of these where it's
at the end of the day
of us seeing someone be weak as we see that as it's not as we see this person as weak because they lose so fast. It's got to be they just didn't have a lane to access their strength whatsoever, so it just looked so bad. Because we all know what Todd Hutchins has done to arm wrestlers just for the last 2 years in general.
Oh yeah, he beat Corey West. Corey's 425 pounds.
Which brings me straight to my favorite part of the whole night, which is Kurgali Ungarbayev beating the GOAT, which I had.
Dude.
And everyone was like, who's Ungarbayev? Who, first of all?
I had no idea who that guy was.
Do your homework. And then if you watch the last video that I just posted with Bill,
I'm not, Ed. No, I won't be competing. I'm either going to call every 165 out in Arizona by the time I come out there in October, or I'll wait till January till we start doing tournaments again. I'm too hurt, dude. Every time I pull, I just get whatever's wrong with my brachialis from going sideways. It feels good 1 month, and then I go arm wrestle, and it's just like I can't even hold a pencil. So I got to heal whatever's wrong. But in October, if I come out there, I'll whoever wants to pull him down, dude.
I'm interested to see if Ed goes out to that locked and loaded. I'd like to see Ed versus some Cali.
I'll be there. I'll be there for sure, man. I'll be there to cheer on everybody. I know Jamie's going to be – I think everybody local will be there. I know ET will be there. That guy's taken over the entire. I spent a good half hour chatting with that kid, and that kid's really cool, man. And I was really shook at how strong he was at that tournament. He stopped that Russian kid, whatever, or
David
he wasn't Russian, excuse me. He was Armenian.
Stepanyan.
Yeah, that kid was insane, dude. Him and
Yeah.
Joe need to pull. I want to see ET and Joseph pull.
Oh, I was gonna say I love Joseph, but I don't think Joseph's ready for David.
No, not a world level European. No way.
That
No.
dude is
He beat
sick,
Jamie
bro.
Sheldon.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Sick
and
right
Jamie
now.
was 185.
Yeah, he's in his weight category, but he's not on his level right now because that dude is
No, he's
once
probably
again
been doing it forever.
on the Eastern European Wheaties, as Ed would like to call it.
Yeah, I think I watched an after pull with that kid and Alan Fisher, and Alan couldn't touch him.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So even with that big old mitt.
But Kurgali Ungerbayev, one of my
Yes.
all-time favorite arm wrestlers, just a top-rolling monster. He's literally, his nickname is the Giant Killer, and John Brzenk just beat a 440-pound giant, and then little small 185-pound Kurgali comes in and is just like, kaboosh!
Yeah. And he was like, but it almost seemed like John, I don't know if John was going on go. And again, he could have been, it's hard to tell, but it almost seemed like he just felt like he was going to outmuscle him, which he's done with every single person. And that guy kept him outside the whole outside. He was literally stretched out the whole time, didn't break his wrist, but he could not get a hook engaged. He couldn't get out. And that kid's surges looked insanely painful. Anytime someone surges a top roll like that,
yeah,
it's so painful because you're holding in the whole other direction.
Okay, so I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a video of Kurgali Ungerbayev pulling Levon.
I heard about that.
Fairly recently. It's within the last 3 years. And
yes.
The way he has to duck under the table to get out of Levon's hand is so
that
nuts.
was that kid? I have seen that.
But the fact that fucking dude is able to get out of Levon's hand should tell you everything you need to know about that dude's pro.
He was so mad too. Levon was so angry because that kid kept slipping, dude.
You're talking about a 350-pound man against a 185-pound man. And, and Levon's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, bro.
Crazy.
I just didn't know that he was that good in the straps. I thought that once it went to the straps, the entire game would change. I thought John would have enough, and
it just looked like he was just in his fingers the whole time, man. And if you're in somebody's fingers, you're already ahead. If that's where your primate, because there's no way he's gonna bring him around the cup.
And Kurgali low hands, so he's getting further and further away. Yeah, dude.
John's too much of a gentleman to get into that setup get in there. He just sits there. You never see anyone say wrist when John goes up to the table. Dude, if you watch his videos, I have rarely, unless it's like he's fighting to get a W, he's down. It's very rare. He's literally just gives you exactly whatever you want. But I think this was a good wake-up call, man. I think it was a good, because he hadn't had a lot. I mean, Devin, I don't count as a loss. Devin looked like a tank when he arm wrestled him, dude.
Well, that, and you could tell that a lot of the John and Devin match was set up. It wasn't arm wrestling. It was what it came down to in the setup.
Yeah, because John wasn't going to waste his energy if he was already in a bad position.
And you're not going to beat Devin in the setup. I think Levon lost to Devin in the setup. I just think he was too strong, and it didn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? So
it would have been nice though to see him, let him have something just to see. But I think he also was like, I don't want to risk losing. What if he did? What if something happened? And so, but it would have been interesting just to be like, all right, let's just sit in a hook, or, let me have your hand real quick and see if you can Larry Wheels him right back, or just see. But, I guess that's when you're at the literal top, you don't have to do anything. You just have to prove that, you're the best. So,
yeah. I lied. The Kurgali was not my favorite moment. My favorite moment was actually Chance Shaw.
I love Chance. I've always had a lot of respect for Chance. He's been one of the nicest people that I've, that's been at that elite level that we've gotten to meet, in our little local Arizona tournaments. And very surprising kid, dude. Very surprising.
He's 24. Not ready for him to just dismantle the dude who I mean, I see it one way or another. You know, once again, styles make matches, but when you watch the John versus Zurab match versus the Chance versus Zurab match, you'd say, what the fuck? When you watch the Chance versus John match. You know what I mean?
Correct.
It's just so
But I
funny how
think
that
Chance a
works.
year ago, I think Chance can make more progress in a year right now than maybe, let's say, John. John's
Right.
established. John's probably got to do a lot more to build
Yeah.
because he's already got so much connective tissue that's already been established. The tendons are already
Right.
perfect. Whereas Chance only can, I mean, it's hard for somebody at that level to go down.
Yeah. Well,
And so,
and he's been doing it for so long. Chance has been
so
arm wrestling
long,
since he
dude.
was 14.
10 years, 11 years.
And to be ranked in the top whatever, I think top 10, top 5 in the North America for the supers at his age I mean, it doesn't get talked about enough because of his age
But
specifically.
how many, so question, interjection, sorry to cut you off. How many supers has he pulled? Zurab's not a super. John's not a super. Ryan Bowen's not a super.
But
I've never seen him
but
rip up with somebody over 240 pounds.
no,
And
that's
he's
not true.
290. I'm
That's
saying
not
I haven't.
Ron
Off the
Bath.
top of right now. Ron Bath is 240, 250. He's not a
Right,
super heavy.
right, but these are all people that arm wrestle supers, like Todd Hutchins, for example.
Sure.
Todd Hutchins is not a super heavy, but he was arm wrestling for a super heavy rank against
Correct.
Chance Shaw. So it's kind of the same thing. You know, there's only so many people who are in the weight class category of a super versus who pulls supers. You know, John Brzenk pulls supers. He's not of super weight category, but he's going
Sure.
to be there to compete in supers if there's a tournament or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? So I guess I get the way you're looking at it, but
I'm saying
realistic.
ranking wise, I don't know how you could rank Chance Shaw in the heavyweights because if you put the top 10 heavyweights, I don't know.
Who's the top 5 supers that are in the super category in North America? Derek
What do we
Smith,
got? You got Derek, Michael, Tim Bresnan,
Corey
Devin Lorenz
West.
considered in North America.
Who?
Devin's considered North America.
But
So,
once
I
again,
mean,
like we just said, he's 225 now.
yeah. But
So
he pulled at 275 last. He's got at least a super weight on the card.
Corey.
You've got Corey. You've got.
But you see what I mean? There's maybe 5 people.
Well, that's why people are saying they want to see him versus Derek Smith now.
I would love to see that. I think
Because he said he doesn't want to pull Corey. I've heard him say that on video. He does not feel like he needs to pull Corey.
Needs to?
Like, I mean, maybe I didn't hear that right. I don't know if needs to is the right word, but I'm saying
Like,
I've heard him say he's not going to pull Corey right now.
I think him versus
But maybe that
Corey,
changes now. I don't know.
think
This was
him versus Corey or him versus Derek.
You're on a live?
Yeah.
Great match.
Is a great match.
Him versus Michael looks like a nightmare. I don't think 2 top rollers, especially Michael Todd being probably the best defensive top roller ever.
Michael has a match?
No, I'm saying I was just listing off while we were saying top 5 in North America. I was saying Chance versus Michael I don't think would be a good match. I don't know how that would end up. It'd be 2 top rollers just
I don't think he can beat Michael in the end.
Yeah.
I think he can get him over that side, but it's just going to be.
Oh, and we got Jerry. Big Jerry. I guess Jerry technically is number 1 right now if you count him, if you count that. But I don't know how they do that.
Now that I've seen that match with Gennady, I know everything I need to see. There's no shot he beats Jerry. Chance.
No, and Chance said that after the match. He said, he told everybody, he goes, if he beat Gennady, I said there's no competition. And he's like, once he did that, he's like, I have all the respect for him now.
Yeah, exactly. Love to see Gabby get the win that she deserves to make sure she's solidified number 1 GOAT of arm wrestling women's.
Bro, when I first started watching Gabby, she was 170 pounds. She stepped in at 210.
Weighing like me, weighing in
at your boy's weight. Dude. 210.
That's a thick girl.
What do you even? That's like
her forearm was that whale you were talking about.
Dude, that forearm was. I showed someone that at work, and they were like, "How did that? I don't even understand how you get development up here. What muscles right here? Does it just run out of space and it starts shifting up here?"
It's called the Vasconcelos.
Vasconcelos, dude. Yeah, her arm next to Ryan's was crazy. The other guys I like that competed that I had no idea who they were that Bosidar guy and
Yeah, David Samusha. That
it
was a
was an
great match, and
interesting
of course,
match. I mean, the guy kind of caved on two of them, so I don't know what he was dealing with. If it was like
Bosidar.
mentally he's not trying to get hurt or something. But you're on a world stage, man. You don't pin yourself. Not that early. Not in the first 2 rounds. Like,
Yeah.
what did you gas out before you even gripped up?
Well, and I'm fucking pissed because I am cooking dinner because I had to step away, and of course I chose that match because I thought it was going to be over quickly, and then it turns out to be a war, and I'm like, fuck. So
Yep.
I really didn't get to watch that one too much. Super not happy about the Corey Miller versus Daniel Prokopchek match.
Everybody said that shouldn't have happened.
Yeah,
That
I
was
mean,
I don't
I,
like when somebody bodies somebody that bad that there's like, bro, you're on TV. Like, just beat the guy. Like, don't sit there and hold him and like
yeah,
mock somebody.
I,
He
I,
didn't
I
set the
gotta be
match up.
honest. You know how big of a Corey Miller fan I am.
You love Corey, 100%.
I never liked that matchup for him. I
I don't
never
think
did.
anyone did. I read a bunch of comments that were like, they're setting him up, they're setting him up, they're setting him up.
Yeah.
And it's like, he got one pin against Giannis, and then Giannis adjusted. Corey Miller is a one shot.
I was about to say, I hate to say it because it sounds like an insult, but if his silver bullet doesn't work, he's just not in the game. He doesn't have elite level other things. He has elite
He's a
level one
tournament
thing.
puller.
Well, he has
He's a
elite level
tournament puller.
one thing, and if that thing doesn't work, then you're fucked. And there's only one person who I can think of that's like that, and that's Travis. Where if I don't pull off my one move, I'm pretty much just gonna give up because I know that I've lost.
Yep.
Whereas it just doesn't do well nowadays, especially like you're saying in the super match age.
You can
Doesn't work well.
adjust too much in super matches. That's why I would rather do super matches in tournaments, because you're like, okay, you're gonna go here, I'll go here. Oh, you went there, I'll go here now. And it's like you have versus just one and done.
It's completely changed the
Well, yeah.
arm wrestling scene as far as what is more valuable to the viewer and what people are going to see. And it's unfortunate, but I think you're going to see a lot less and less tournaments, which I'm kind of all right with, because what I don't want is, and this is just me,
Yeah.
fucking attack me in the comments, please, if you watch this video. But I'm more for like the Arizona State Championship happening once a year and there being 300 people that show out to compete, rather than, oh, I might make it to that one, but then there's this small road runner backyard fucking bulls and brawn or something with
Sure.
15 people that are going to go there, and I might make it to that one.
And you default first, or you
And
pull one person.
exactly. Like, no offense to the Bulls and the Browns. I want everyone to have a shot at making money and doing their thing. I love the fact that it's spreading awareness of the sport and it's getting more
Yeah.
people involved and all that kind of stuff. But I would much rather it make it look more professional and more big to have one really big tournament, a state tournament every year, or maybe two. I'm
Sure.
totally fine with two every year. You know what I mean? Maybe do different regions of the state, because states are massive. It doesn't always have to be one state that
Yeah.
everyone travel to. And arm wrestling is getting big enough to maybe those things start to change. But like I said, with the whole super match thing, what's more realistic and more likely is people just abandon tournaments because they have a super match. So, for example, oh, I'm not going to
Yeah.
Lock and Loaded because I have a super match scheduled in someone's backyard.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess I get where you're coming from a little bit. I think tournaments are good to see where you're at versus like longevity and like experience. And I think super matches I personally think they should be used more for like
Rankings.
leveling up or gaining a ranking, or if that's what you're into, competing at the world level, but I think tournaments are good in a sense of it gets you into a lot of people's hands, and it gives you, everybody's different that you grip up against, and it gives people the opportunity who like are still young. Like, I'm 2 years into this in a couple months, and there's like nobody I would want to call out for a super match. the only reason I'd say I do super matches out there is because, you know, there's a lot of people that I have competed with in tournaments that it'd be fun now to come back and give ourselves a 5-round game and see how you do.
Bro, we're some fucking gangsters for being in under 2 years.
Yeah. I mean, you're definitely a lot further than I am, dude. I got a desk job and sold my table, and now I got to pick myself back up because it's a lot of fun. But this is definitely one of those sports, man, where if you take time off, you see it on the table. Like I slowly saw myself getting placed in lower in tournaments, and I was like, all right, dude, you're gonna get what you get out what you put into this for sure. Unless you're from Cameroon and you have a fucking 10-inch mitt, you know, right. I don't know, like these gifted people that are like Khaled. And did you see, sorry to switch back to the East versus West, but I just realized I didn't even see the Marcio Barboza. I didn't see Marcio there at all.
Hurt himself.
I was like, I saw that on the card.
That and the RF Artem match didn't happen. That's why they did a different match, and I don't remember the name of the guy. It was the dude with the glasses and the other dude. They were the 156-pound guys. They're not on the list here. I don't remember their names.
Oh, that's who I thought was. I thought that was Bolsadir.
No.
David.
No.
Maybe I was thinking of someone else.
Bojidar Simeonov and David Samusha. God, I can never say that dude's fucking last name.
Samusha. Yeah.
That was a fucking war. Those dudes met.
I must have missed that one too. Then, damn it.
Ryan
Oleg got slapped. Oh yeah. Like this was my favorite match, dude. I love that they started it with this match. But I'll say the same thing. I agree with Chance 100% on this. And he basically went out and said, and I think I said this to you when we talked that day. He said he had Ryan winning for sure based on level of experience and just knowing that Ryan's beat Chance. And then when they got there, it just was, he said he flipped his whole mentality. And obviously I'm not there. I love Coach Ray, but I also had the same, I was like, wow, Ryan's been pulling for a really long time, and Ray stuck him hard.
I just think it's so funny that from an elite level, with so many of these YouTubers, you're seeing so much opinion change.
For sure.
From
because you have the internet, everyone can say whatever they want until it's just like keyboard warrior.
From the whole don't do the gym, only do arm wrestling and pulley standpoint, from the steroid standpoint, I've seen so many of these YouTubers flip their script and completely abandon their opinion on something because an arm wrestler that beat them told them differently. You know what I mean? Or they saw an arm wrestler of better or elitist, more status say something on a YouTube channel or something like that. I got to be honest with you. To me, I don't fucking respect a lot of it. Be who you are. Do what you want to do in this sport and look at it from an honest standpoint rather than looking at it from a trendy follower standpoint. You know what I mean?
100%.
And for you to be like, oh, I'm not going to take steroids anymore because my health is at risk. Was your fucking health not at risk at the beginning when you started doing it? It's not like anything changed.
Your health's at risk every day, bro.
You just had some fucking bad symptoms, and now you're not about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is that what Ryan said?
And then, well, exactly. This was the example I'm using. And then, and then another one would be the whole gym workout thing, where these guys are like, oh, all you need is a big forearm, and you need to be, have a steady elbow. And I'm going to tell you right now, I think Ryan has the bigger and better forearm. I think he has the bigger and better elbow. Look how much that mattered when Ray looks too thick of Ryan. As far as you could put two of Ryan as up to how thick Ray was. You know what I mean? That shit matters. Overall strength matters. You know what I mean? Being in the gym and being a strong human matters. I've always said it. You don't know a single elite arm wrestler that doesn't look like he is strong. Like he's in the like you see him in the grocery store and you'd be like, that motherfucker's strong. There's nobody.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if you go to a table, if you went to a table and you had a guy way stronger than you who had never arm wrestled, and you have the technique but not the strength, you might win one or two, but after that guy's gonna smack you up and down that table. You have to be strong to an extent.
This is a strength sport when it comes down to it. It is a strength sport / martial art, and
Yeah.
strength sport comes first. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it
But
is
it's
what
a
it
hard
is.
balance, in my opinion. Like I've told you before, like for me, it's like you want table time, but if I go get table time, I can't work out for 2 weeks.
Right.
Or
Right.
maybe I'm doing something wrong that everyone else knows a way to fix. But for me, it's like I
You need
can't
to
do
arm wrestle with.
anything.
You need to arm wrestle with dudes that are like 50% of your
Or I
strength
need to
level.
go 50% and stop trying to gas out.
No, no. Okay, so like this is a good example. Shout out to Will. Love Will to death. Um, but watch that video with me and Will
Yeah,
pulling this the other night. I mean, I let that dude have my wrist and then completely took it back. That's how much of a strength gap is between me
sure.
and William. But I love training with him
Yeah.
because he goes all out. I can put myself in bad positions and work. You know what I mean? And then
And
not
you're
only
not
that,
hurting him. It's
I
a
was gonna
win-win
say
for both of you.
and not only that, but I was sore the whole rest of the night, but woke up the next morning completely fine. I have
Yeah,
not been in pain whatsoever since I arm wrestled Will. I was in pain that night. I mean, from the strap on my arm, just blood pump, you know what I mean? But the next
yeah,
day, bro, I had no soreness. I went to the gym and did shoulders and chest as normal, literally the day after pulling. Now, if I would have pulled Ed or Bruger or fucking
yeah,
McManus or something like that, you would have caught me on a rest day for the next 2-3 days before I hit the gym. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe you need to do a little bit more of so that you can get access to the table and you can get access to movements, a little bit of
sure.
blood flow on the elbow, but it's nothing to where the next day you're like, whatever. You know what I mean?
It's whatever I'm injured, dude. It's not that I can't go pick up a dumbbell. It's just more like this injury. So once this is done, whenever this is, hopefully I don't have to go to the doctor, it should fix itself. But I should be back to normal because I don't have that with my left arm.
Right.
The only time that happens is when this damn elbow pops, and I don't know what that is, either like a tendon rolling over the bone or
Yeah, it happens.
but yeah, like my left arm doesn't have the same pain, but I drive with so much side pressure with my
Right.
right arm that I don't know how not to. From a top
Right.
roll, from a hook, from a
It's your
from a
style.
lost wrist. It's
You
always
don't
I'm
want to
always going this
completely
way.
change your style either. You don't want to do that. So,
No. Well, I can do everything. I just can't do everything really well. I can do
right.
everything okay. And I don't know
Krasi,
if I'm a top roller or a hooker right now.
right.
I felt really good in a hook until my arms started hurting and I was rolling through people.
No, I think the good thing is you can do it all. It's a matter of course, you're better at one or the other, but you're versatile in the fact that you can. That's why I'm really trying to add a hook into my arsenal where I'm working on it a lot more, whereas it
Yeah.
doesn't feel so familiar. Where if I get put there, I don't feel like horrible.
Nobody likes going in a hook, dude. I shot in on every single person at the tournament and it was like they panicked. I think it's weird when people give you your wrist,
Well, and
especially at an amateur tournament, of course.
not only that, but a lot of people, like I said, are only top rollers where
Oh, everybody top rolled me.
they will both.
Everybody tried to top roll. Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not having it.
Yeah,
But
Krasi versus Irakli. I knew how that was going to go. And then
Irakli's been on a rampage, dude, since Todd beat him.
and
That
I
probably
just
busted
heard
him up bad.
and I just heard Matt Mask
Yeah,
announce that he's going to be pulling
East 5.
Krasi.
Did you see the East versus West 5 announcement? It just
No,
came out.
no.
Yeah, they just announced John's against somebody. Irakli's pulling. Oh man, I didn't pay much attention actually.
Where is this at?
It was on Engen's YouTube channel, but here I'll try to find it real quick. Let me see. East versus West 5 matches. Yeah, you might have to like pull up a video and then look. We'll have to look another time because I don't have it in front of me, sadly. Oh, there's an after pull of David Dadicon and Prutnik left-handed.
Dude,
Oh,
nuts.
and Prutnik can't move him.
Nuts,
Oh,
bro.
but neither can Dadicon.
Yeah, nuts.
David rolled through Oleg. Yo, Oleg's hand. How is he even arm wrestling? He cannot. There's no thumb. Like he had no way to not cover a thumb knuckle because of how separated his index finger was and how short his thumb was.
His
That
hand's
kid's
gross.
I don't even know how he's arm wrestled. There's no way for him to show a thumb knuckle.
Yeah, his hands are gross.
It
I
looked
don't see it.
physically
I can't find
impossible.
it. That sucks.
Here, let me. If you want to be patient, I'll pull it. I just probably have to pull up this video real quick.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
here it is. Super match announcements. Dang, I just saw the list. It was like maybe it was on Facebook. It's Cobra Rhodes is on it. John Brazink's on it.
Cobra's on it?
Yeah, Engen Prutnik's on it against God, I wish I had it for you, bro. Let me see. Maybe it's on Engen's Facebook.
You're a horrible co-host.
I shouldn't have even brought it up. It's my fault, dude.
It's all good, bro.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna watch it either way. I know that.
No doubt. Yeah, we'll both be there. Lachlan Adair got bodied.
Smacked.
He didn't think that was gonna happen. You thought that was gonna happen. I didn't think that was gonna happen.
Sandra Sadis is no joke, bro.
Oh, Prudnik's pulling Michael Todd.
Oh.
John Brazink versus Oleg Petrichenko.
Oh, hell yeah.
Matt Mass versus Sandras. I thought that was against the other guy, though. Yeah, man. I swear Engen freaking posted it because I just saw it.
That's sick. Those are gonna be some good matches. Like I said, dude, the East versus West is killing it. They're the premier now. They're the ones.
Oh yeah, yeah, they're great, man. I had a good time watching that. That Dave Chafee match, though, like, yeah, we talked about that. Cody Merritt, we talked about.
I think we covered them all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Who else is it? Cole, Chance, we talked about. Yeah,
we don't have like any practices scheduled down here.
Yeah, we've got that locked and loaded tournament for the Mr. Olympia qualifier next Saturday, and then I just saw Kyle Depew put up a new tournament for September 24th. The dumbest weight classes, bro. Why is there a 0 to 155 and then a 155 to 175? And then it's like what? Just make it 0 to 190 or something, dude.
Yeah.
There's too many weight classes, and then you don't get enough people in each category.
Yeah. I'm upset because I wanna arm wrestle competitively, but I don't know what I want to do. I can't travel to a tournament. I don't have the money because they're all out of state. Nothing's happening here anytime soon. There's nobody really here that I'm interested in arm wrestling, if I'm honest with you.
Sure.
I mean, it's just because I know how everybody arm wrestles. There's nothing that excites me. It's not that I feel like I can beat everybody. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people who have my number. It's just like I don't get excited for anybody down here. There's nobody that I'm like dying to fucking beat or dying to pull or dying to get on the table with. So
I know what you mean, man. When I came out here, it was a nice refresher, getting all the different, going to Derek Smith's practice, going to the combined practice and getting to pull with just so much different knowledge, you know, just like getting feedback from Jamie and from even Derek grips up with me. And I'm like, dude, I don't know why, but.
Right. And I think if I'm honest, that's more my lane right now, my trajectory, and what I've been doing a lot more of lately is getting a hold of dudes that have been on the table like one or two times and really working with them more. There's a 17-year-old in the group who's just like super dedicated, who I've been trying to work with a lot. And then
could be why you're bored, dude. You spend a lot of time building everybody else up.
Right, and that's what I mean.
And that gets boring after a while because you got to get good. Yeah,
that's why I was saying I want to be competitive. I want to like get angry and I want to arm wrestle someone and like scream and slap the table and.
Dude, I get you a super match out here with anybody in your weight class if you wanted to just arm wrestle somebody strange.
But that's what I'm saying is at any point I could go down to the tournaments in Cali if I had the money.
Or just come to a Sunday practice at Derek's house. There's like 35 people there. And he'll just
money.
It's an hour and a half closer. That's only a 4-hour drive. It's a little closer.
True. That's true. And it's a bad excuse, but it's gonna change. It'll definitely change. By next year, I plan on completely not even being at Arizona practices because every single month I plan on being at a new tournament somewhere within a neighborhood or somewhere But
my favorite thing was traveling with like Ron and I when we went to El Paso. That was fun. Like to go get a hotel and travel to just stay there just to compete. It was
to me,
fun.
that's what this whole thing is about. Is, you know, doing it with your brothers, testing yourself. And at the beginning, that's not what this was. The first 1 year, 2 years was more building.
Yeah.
And obviously, am I, you know, top 10 in the state of Arizona? No, but I definitely think that with what I've been able to do over a short span of time, I've been able to definitely capitalize on that 2 years. So
Yeah.
I want to,
Well, we started out with like an amazing group of people.
well,
We had everybody near us that was like what I get out here is like what we started with, where you had massive amounts of people. Jake's got us. There it is. Yeah, Morozov versus Hermes. Matt Mattis versus
versus
Sanders.
Artem.
Michael Todd versus Prutnik. Thanks, Jake. Brezink. Yeah. So that's what's been announced so far already, which is already great matches. Yeah. Anybody who's a big, I just like all the super heavyweights, dude. And it's just so much horsepower, bro. It's just like, good God, dude.
Now, I will say one thing about this, and it's not that it's a big deal or anything, but all of those names were just on the last card.
Of course.
That's the one thing I do like about Arm Wars, where you're pretty much consistently seeing new blood, different people, all elite arm wrestlers, all people you're fairly familiar with, but it's not the same people over and over again. I feel like the reason
but Arm Wars is a platform to grow. This is Engen wants people to be the best. Arm Wars is to see. It's kind of like a tournament.
That's why I say Engen. I see what he's doing because he has the same people, but the same people are the top 5 that he's putting in. Yeah. They're the best of the best. So definitely a little different, but yeah.
Well, that's like saying you don't like watching the playoffs, dude. Those are the best teams playing each other 7 times in a row. It's
as long as he's switching.
You got to see who's the big dog.
Exciting, then and which he is. These are all great.
Bro, all those people on that card are going to be exciting. You got Morozov left-handed with Gasparini, and then Jerry with Gasparini right-handed.
There is no shot. There is no shot Hermes Gasparini has anything for Artem Morozov left-handed.
Dude, that's gonna be something crazy, man.
What are we talking about right now?
Yeah, he's gonna have an interesting both arm experience because Jerry's gonna do some strange stuff to his right arm, and
that's true.
Morozov's only gonna get better every time he keeps arm wrestling, dude. And now he's number 1 left.
Rough weekend for the Italian, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. The Terminator's sick, dude.
But so that's all I know, man. I don't really have any plans for myself. Like we'll probably start doing some practices again here at my house again in like late September.
Yeah, I'll be there, dude. Come visit.
And then once the weather starts to change a little bit, it'll be a little bit easier. And until then, man, training as usual. I mean, even with this job, I've still been pretty consistent on the table working and then getting to the gym. So, you know, there's no complaints there. I still feel healthy. I still feel great. I still want to be competitive. Like I said, I just don't know against who makes sense. You know what I mean? Like I said,
that's why you just got to go fucking tear through tournaments. Stop worrying about who to arm wrestle and just fucking arm wrestle everybody.
Well, and that's what I mean.
You might as well just go hard, dude. Go take as many tournaments as you can and just get as many hands in your hand as you can, because that's going to get you so much further than trying to, like, in my opinion, just picking somebody out that might be in your level.
Right.
That would be good to kind of see if you're at that level or if you're better. But for growth, I would just keep trying to just maximize the amount of bodies that you're arm wrestling. Because everyone's going to do something different. I mean, they might have the same move, but their hands are different size, their fingers are different, pressures are different.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not a one, as you said, it's not a one game sport. You got to be versatile. So trying to stop people all over the world is going to be the best way to do that. But it is expensive, dude. Nothing in this world is cheap right now.
It's not really expensive as more as it is I'm fucking broke.
No, it is expensive, dude. If you don't know someone where you're going, like, think about it. You got to pay for gas. You either rent a car or take your own car. Then you pay for 2 or 3 nights in a hotel room, which is anywhere from, depending on the state, it could be, $50 or 250
Food,
bucks.
bro. I eat a lot.
Food. You've got to probably work out a little bit. So you've got to be somewhere where you can be at. But yeah, it's not cheap by any means. I'd expect to spend $1,000 on a decent trip anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I'll be out there soon. So if you guys ever get anything together, I'll try to make it out there. But it's tough from, we see all the chatter in the chat, and I can understand why people don't have as many tournaments in Arizona, because there's just not that many. I mean, you've got Tim promoting.
There's
And
not enough people that take it
that's kind of it.
seriously. There's not enough people that take it seriously. Now, if I'm
Yeah.
honest, there's plenty of people that go to practice, but
Sure.
there's a big difference between going to practice and being involved in arm wrestling.
Correct.
Like, that's the best way I can explain it is look at everything that I do when it comes to arm wrestling versus just going to fucking practice.
Yeah.
I have a YouTube channel. I throw practices. I get others together. I create groups. There's a ton of shit that goes as far as moving the sport forward. And I feel like California has way more people moving the sport forward than
For sure.
Arizona does. Maybe we have a lot of participants, but what it comes down to is not a lot of people want to get their hands dirty. Not a lot of people want to take the time out and do what's necessary in order to do it all. And it's not easy. I've got 0 people watching right now. I've got 100 subscribers. It's not like I do this shit so that I can get rich. I do it because I love it. And a lot of people are not as nerdy as me to do this shit just because they love it. They're doing it because of alternative means. They're arm wrestling because of alternative means. They're doing it because of other reasons rather than you and me fucking love this shit. And that's why we're super excited to talk to each other about shit like this. You know what I mean?
It's bullshit, man. For sure, dude. Because
exactly.
That was the whole reason that brought me into arm wrestling, was it's just the camaraderie and having everybody around. It's never been a negative, and it was almost like I used to go to raves all the time, and like that was a very positive environment. Obviously there's a whole lot of other stuff going on, but it's a very accepting, environment. Right. And that was another thing that I noticed when I started arm wrestling, was it was like you could walk in like I did on day one with no experience, and people embrace you, or you're that jack guy at practice for the first time and everyone's like, oh my God, this guy's going to be sick. And they, get behind you. But I think there's a lot of animosity out there with everybody, like I've said before, it seems very ego driven in that state, unfortunately. And if everybody did band together and focus more on, each other's growth versus whose dick's bigger.
Yeah, dude, it's hard to keep caring after a certain point. I'm not even gonna sit here and lie and act like I haven't gotten burnt out with the fucking.
Oh, dude, it sounds exhausting, dude. You gotta put practices together. You gotta provide food. You bring tables.
And then to be caught into any type of drama whatsoever because I was throwing arm wrestling practices was just the funniest thing in the world to me. I'm all.
Everybody's got an ego, buddy. We knew that from day one. Everybody feels that's the thing, is we're all adults.
Right.
If we were all teenagers and we were hanging out, nobody would have egos about this, because you don't have like a.
I don't know, bro. I think some people still think they're in high school. I'll tell you that.
I mean, they might feel that way, or that might just be the only way they know how to express themselves.
Yeah.
And so, it's like it sucks when it spills onto people's fun.
Yeah.
And everybody's entitled to an opinion, but, I think that there's no wrong way to arm wrestle, like to grow it. There's a wrong way to arm wrestle. There's no wrong way to grow the sport. And I think if someone throws a practice the same day of a tournament, what if people can't afford the tournament? What if people don't feel like they're good enough to compete? I've had somebody I held very close to me look me dead in the face and tell me, you're not ready for a tournament. And then I went and won my first tournament 2 months later.
Right.
So there are ways, like not everybody has to compete, dude. And I think that's that's like saying, oh, you can't go to Taco Bell because I opened a fucking Del Taco. It's like, no, bro, what if I don't fuck with Del Taco?
Right. Well, it's like I said, you can tell there's a big difference between the scene in Arizona and the scene in California. What I'm happy about is the potential that Arizona has. I just hope that at one point Arizona lives up to its potential as far as Arizona arm wrestling goes. and we
You
can
guys just need to get together and just everybody needs to sit at a table and just have an opinion and just leave it at that and go, this is what I feel. This is what I feel. This is what I didn't like.
Yeah.
Because it's getting to the point where if everybody wants to work together, I think that's just what people don't want to do. They're like, well, fuck you then. Like, we don't have to hang out. And it's like, well, you know, maybe you're gaining something more from that other person hanging out with you. But the whole reason we got all of the people together, the even reason we have all these chats and everybody, and the fact that you're even doing this is because we felt accepted. And then when people push you out because of your opinion, that's not even a good person, bro. Like, people should allow you to have your opinion, and if they don't like it, that's life. Like, we're grown-ups at this point.
That's what I mean by, like, I just got burnt out and had to take a step back for a little bit because I was just getting, all my fun was getting sapped. It was just not the same enjoyable vibe that I was having before. And so, yeah, you know, it is what it is. I'm totally fine with it. Going the way
it comes in waves, man. It comes in waves, you know.
I still think that it's gonna change for the better.
Yeah.
I think we do need to have more Arizona tournaments. Like, other than the Bulls and the Braun and the Arizona State Championships, I can't think of a single tournament that happens annually that we all know about and think about and wait for and can't wait for. That's not good.
They used to have the UALs there. They had it last year.
Yeah, but that's, I mean, once again, when you look at who turned out, that was not a good tournament. It was not a big.
No, it really wasn't. Yeah, you're right. It really wasn't.
It doesn't matter that UAL was the name. Now that should matter. That should bring a lot of people in. But the fact that it didn't is kind of the part that bothered. That's part of the reason why I didn't go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no one's really close to Arizona, though, when you think about it.
Yeah.
Like California, some people go to those tournaments, and I've heard a lot of people don't. And then it's like no one rarely comes from out there to come to these tournaments.
But that's kind of
all
my
the
point,
people.
Is like, Arizona isn't respected. We're not looked
even
at
New
as
Mexico has more tournaments. Like, who the fuck arm wrestles in New Mexico?
Right, dude. We have Wayne, Miguel, Eric Wolf. Those are fucking. Those,
got John. You've got John living in Arizona still. You got Dustin who can still compete. You've got.
I don't think about John
Tim's in
because
Arizona.
John is so international.
Sure.
But everyone else, dude, like, those are dudes that are in this region of the states are killers. They're big players.
Like, Tim throws a tournament in Washington. I wonder why that is. Why he doesn't try and do something like that in Arizona.
He's from Washington. He has a house down there. He's got everything down there.
Oh, I didn't know that. That makes sense then.
Yeah, and they just I don't know, bought or something a new venue, and it's like massive. So, but
that tournament looked decent. That's in December.
Oh no,
November.
I'm finding out a way to get to that. That's for sure.
Yeah, if it was a short drive, I'd drive. But if it's worth it, if we can figure out a way to fly, I'll go with you, dude.
Oh, I'm flying. Mo wants to go too. So
yeah, dude.
It'd
be a lot of fun.
I've got to go cook a ribeye. So
you go chef it up, buddy. I appreciate your time.
Fuck yeah, this is by far my favorite live I've done. This was a ton of fun.
Oh, thanks, bro. Well, anytime. I'm usually free after 5 every day.
Well, it's really easy when you have something to talk about. So whenever these events happen and things like that, then let's for sure do some
absolutely, dude. Absolutely. We'll catch on the next.
Figured out.
Yeah. Well, I'll just use this phone from now on.
All
right, bro. Be safe. Love you.
Take
it easy, man.
All right, man.